Howdy folks, it's Ultra here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We're 28% done with the Alpine World of Switzerland bush trip. I assume you watched the first video. This video is just going to be leg 3 because it's a longer one, so let's get right to it. Well, that's a cool little parking spot, right? Just outside of the city here. And where are we going? I can't remember which way we're going. Well, we came in from that way along the mountains, so I assume we're heading that way along the river. Still real world weather turned on. Not much has changed from the last time we flew a couple days ago. So hopefully it continues to be that way because I'm really enjoying flying with real live world whatever weather you want whatever you want to call it. Live weather, real weather, whatever. It's working, so we're going to keep it on. This is interesting. I wonder what that stuff is. Huh. Alrighty, but without further ado, we got a long leg coming up, so let's not take too much time. We have left the sim, we'll come back, obviously, because like I said, it's a different day in real life. So, there we go. So yeah, we left the sim, so my point being, GPS should work again once it calibrates. So we will use GPS again, because we can, why not? While that's going, let's start reading, because it's a long one. So, Lake Beale. Take off and continue following Highway 5 to the west-southwest to the eastern shore of the lake, also called Lake Beanie. It's part of a 3 lakes region. Alrighty. French and German-speaking areas of Switzerland. I have a good friend who is from the German area of Switzerland. Switzerland comprises 3 major geomorphic regions: the Jura Mountains, the Swiss Plateau, and the Central Plateau. The Swiss Alps in the northern part of the country, and the Swiss Alps. Okay. Lake Beale lies at the junction. What? No, I'm reading too many things at once. At the southern foot of the mountains at their juncture with the Swiss Plateau. That's going to be cool to see. A plateau like that from the air. That's going to be awesome. It's only 4 minutes out. So, what is that? 17, so it's actually 16. So yeah, though, the plateau, the mountains, we're going to fly right along, and then we're going to go along the river, which they call a canal. Gain visual on St. Peter's Island, now a peninsula. So that used to be an island, now it's a peninsula because water levels are lower, maybe. Protrudes into a lake, yep. And we're going to find the canal at the end, which is right there. Then after that, these are all pretty close together. We'll follow the river. Nope, follow the canal. Flying away from the mountains, because here are the mountains. We're going to fly away from them farther into the plateau region. Continue along the canal until it's juncture with the Seine River. Alrighty, so that's here. So let's keep reading. Yeah, we got a long ways to go, so we'll keep reading here, and then we'll just take off to some sightseeing. Freiburg, continue, track the river, pass over long narrow Schriffensee, a reservoir formed by a dam at the Seine, which is there. So we'll look for the dam on either end, maybe there. No, because this is the town. We'll look for a dam, then there's the town. City that's culturally influenced by both German and French-speaking Swiss. Important bilingual university. Old Town, one of the nation's cultural strongholds. So, yep, towns, mountains, plateaus, rivers, and reservoirs. So when we get to here, we'll start reading again and pick up where we left off here. But in the meantime, let's get going. First set of flaps down. We will use autopilot with heading bug. What's our altitude right now? 1400. We were at 5,000 feet. It got to be a little high to look at stuff at 5,000 feet, even though it's only 3,000 or so above the ground level. Let's go to 4,500 this time. Those 500 feet down, the 500 feet lower will make a big difference. There we go. We'll get ready with vertical speed, and yeah, that's it, right? Not using ATC. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Just follow this. Yep. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but nope, it really is that easy. Alrighty, which way are we going to take off from? It doesn't really matter to me, just whatever's closest. Let's just taxi there and do a midfield. So turn right, do a midfield, sort of a midfield. Our favorite taxi view, hopefully we can turn without running into the building, because that building might be a solid object, and then you're screwed. So there you go. Alrighty, whoa. Not so fast. We have rolled this before. We don't want to roll it again. Alright, cool. Let's see, anything else to say? Nope. Just admiring the mountains on the left there. Pretty cool. So the biggest thing will be making sure my altitude is high enough for some hills that might pop up here and there. And then eventually we'll get into the mountains, and then we'll maybe just follow valleys instead of flying over everything. We'll see how I feel at the time when it happens. And is that like an abandoned Nissan Z over there? What is that car doing? Oh, they're spotting. They're taking pictures. They're plane spotting. How cool is that? I haven't seen that in the sim before. That must be hand placed. Because I can't imagine you're going to have a person with autogen taking pictures of, I said pianos, taking pictures of aircraft. That was really cool. Now my yoke is working. If you recall, the way the last video ended, this flaps up by the way, my yoke just wasn't working and I almost crashed because it did whatever it wanted. But now that the, oops, wrong way. But now that the sim has been restarted, it's a different day, blah, blah, blah. It works again. All right, here you go. Autopilot, nav, 1200, 1300 feet per minute. That works for me. You can't see my multi-panel on the desk, but you can see things here once that gets out of the way. There's my VS. Cruise altitude, GPS. It did not pick up the GPS. That would make sense because we're way, whoops, we're way too far off for it to pick up. So let's use heading bug to get over there. There we go. Then once we get closer to it, you can see my heading bug right here. Once we get closer to it, then we'll... Oh, I know why it's doing that. Never mind. I have to fix the flight plan. I forgot. It's been so long since I've flown a bush trip. Again, I know the videos to you... Oh, turn back, please. I know the videos to you are like, you know, a couple days in between at most. But it's been like way long since that previous bush trip. And these things get messed up. So I have to go to flight plan. And we want to put in... I missed what it was already. Waypoint 16. So let's go to flight plan and go to 16 right here and activate yes. Now I can do GPS once we get a little bit closer here. Okay, there we go. In fact, GPS is already armed. Look at that. Is it going to go from heading to GPS on its own? I don't know. Let's just do that. Okay, back to the map. There we go. I forgot about that part. What do we have for climb? 4,500 feet. Almost. Is it going to level off or what? Okay, now we can sightsee. I'm sure you know how this works. Even if you haven't watched a bush trip before, I'm sure you're not starting in the middle. Sightsee, I'm going to show you everything without me talking, but you're not going to miss anything even though I'm going to reduce it. It really is aggressive getting over there, isn't it, to that purple line. Jeez. Anyway, there's a peninsula we're looking for, and then we got some other stuff to look for, and I'll see you down here somewhere. I already forgot. I'll go back through the navlog and look and catch up with you in a moment while I watch my speed. Holy moly. See you in a bit. Alright, it's about time to reach this river with the dam and the cities on the other end of it. And then when we get to the other end of it, we'll read about stuff. But for right now, we want to hop outside and see if we see this dam, which could be right there, I think. So they didn't really do anything about it in the sim because that's definitely like an auto-gen interpretation. Your elevation data, your road data, and then they filled it in with whatever they think it should look like. Okay, well, cool, you can tell it drops down, so that's pretty neat. Alrighty, hop inside here while we approach this city that we're supposed to be looking for right there. Let's read about the next stuff. Right, Freiburg, yeah, so that's Freiburg right there. Okay, cool. Continue on course along the Seine, obliquely traversing the Swiss plateau, with the Alps to the south, which is the left with all the snow on top. Those are the Alps. And the plateau's over here. Well, back there, right? We saw a lot of plateau looking things. It was pretty cool. But yeah, what do you think? When you hear about the Alps, that's what they're talking about. Those of you like me who will never get there in real life, there you go. Alright, traverse the western shore of Lake Gruyere Reservoir at the Seine, and then follow Highway A12 to the town of Bulle. The town, rich in history, is well preserved and surrounded by agricultural lands. Okay, cool. So we're gonna head straight, pretty much straight. There's more water up here, and then there's another town. And then we're gonna gain a visual on Lake Geneva and the town of Vevey, located on the lake's northeastern shoreline, using Highway 12 as a guide, or the GPS. Fly towards Vevey and admire the Bernese Alps, located just to the east of the lake. Pass over Vevey and turn to the southeast to follow the shore of Lake Geneva. We've all heard of Lake Geneva, right? Boom, right there. So we're going to go around here, and then we head into the mountains. This is what I was talking about. If I stay in the valley, we can keep our low altitude. Where are we headed? Gulf Sierra. Where is that even? Huh, anyway, we'll get there in a second. There it is right there. So if I stay in the valley, well, we have to because our airport's in the valley. So anyway, but going forward, if we stay in the valley, we can keep our altitude. Not a problem. If we want to fly to the points they say, then we got to go up and down. So here we're not going to go up there. We're going to look at that from afar, for example, in the next lake. Then we'll just stay in the valleys, I think. So that means we'll probably be using, so that's not going to change over. There it goes. We'll probably be, well, that was cool. We'll probably be using the heading bug for a lot of it, coming down here, because GPS will put us right over the top of the mountain, and we don't want that. I want to stay below terrain, I think. Sometimes I change my mind. But right now I'm thinking for this bush trip we'll stay in the valleys. We'll see. After Lake Geneva, we're looking for a castle, which is right here, because one number off on the southern shore. Cool, on the small islands. Okay. And a nice bridge road. Okay, so we got a town, Lake Geneva, a castle, and then what? One more thing here. Fly. We got to stay in the valley for this. Enter the Rhone Valley in the beautiful world of the high Swiss Alps. We'll definitely be using Autobug instead of heading bug instead of GPS for this. Major crossroads, you can read about that, city, vineyards, boom. And then we go to the airport. There we go. Alrighty, and then that'll be the end of this video with the end of this lake. I mean, we're not even halfway done, but we're only doing this lake in this video because it's so long. So there you go. I'm going to keep an eye on my speed. I'm going to let GPS do the talking and walking for now until we get to the castle, and then I'll take over with Autobug or whatever. And so there you go. Sightseeing until we get into the valleys or so, and then you hear my voice again, and then we'll land. But that's still 20-25 minutes for me. I'll narrow it down to a couple minutes for you, but enjoy. And we have a problem. So we're going to go to Heading Bug right now. Get around the mountain. And then we'll go back on course. So I didn't plan to do Heading Bug till down by the lake, but we need to use it a little bit sooner because I do not want to climb an altitude. We're already at 4,500 feet, which is not that high above ground level, but it's high enough that I don't want to go higher. So Heading Bug already it is, and then we'll be heading to the lake and the castle, and I'll join you in that valley as promised. So back to sightseeing. Just wanted to tell you what I was doing because this is a pretty significant change of plans. Well, we're not there yet. I was going to wait until final approach before I started talking, but this got really interesting. Really interesting. I feel like we're threading the needle, but we're staying in the valley because our airport is right around the corner. So we'll keep our altitude too. I feel like we're a little higher than we need to be, but yeah, maybe we should come down just so we're lower for approach. But I don't know. I think we're going to stay this way anyway, and then we'll see what's around this corner and get ready to land. It'll happen quickly, but I wanted to be with you for some of this because it's pretty crazy. Can you imagine living in here? Can you imagine what that would be like? And the weather today is perfect. It's 10 degrees Celsius up here, so that's awesome. And yeah, couldn't be a better real life day for flying. Check that out. We're following the river perfectly into even more mountains. So we entered this part of the valley. It seemed like quite a bit, But now it's really getting serious here, so have to pay a lot of attention and be careful of that wind blowing us across towards the mountains. That's a cool plateau. Look at that. Just cut straight down. That is really cool. I wonder what it's like living like on the edge here. So you like fall off the mountain, which I shouldn't laugh because my older child did fall off a mountain in the Rocky Mountains. It was, you know, like this. And there's a road and there were lookouts, and we stopped at the lookout. I said, don't get out of the van. We had a minivan. I said, don't get out of the van. And he was so excited. He opened the door, slid on some gravel, went over the edge. But what saved him was he was wearing his camera strap around his wrist, and the camera got lodged in a rock, and the strap hanging onto his wrist, he was dangling by his wrist off something like this. He was, let's see, that was 2018. So how many years ago was that? No, 2015. 9 years ago? Yeah, 9 years ago. So he was 7-ish or so when that happened. And we have a picture like a minute after, and you can see on his face the look of death. It was something else. The roads with the switchbacks, that's really cool. And the thing is about valleys and everything being so vast and giant is it looks like it's pretty close, but it's actually quite far away. We are not that close to these mountains. I mean, we're close enough. I don't want to get closer, but it's not like we're 100 feet away. You know, we're quite a ways away. It's just so vast. I was watching a YouTube video about people who fly in Alaska and how if you're not used to it, you think you're going to crash into a mountain, but it can be 10 miles away. But you start freaking out that you're going to crash into it. We don't get that sensation in the sim, but in real life, I guess it's a real problem for new pilots. Look at this road on the edge. Yeah, so the road in Colorado is like that. And then we stopped at a lookout like that, for example. And where is it? Like, let's say right there. Kid got out, slipped on the gravel, and went over. Whew, that was something else. Don't want to live through that again. Alrighty, we're going to make our big turn here towards our airport. And then we'll land. And since this is the only leg in this video, we'll call it a day after we've landed. Well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Do you see the airport up there, or is it around the next curve? It's right before the next curve. So we should see it any minute. Maybe it's like right in there. Not sure. I guess we can come down a little bit. What do we have? 4,500. Let's go down to 3,400 feet vertical speed. Let's do 600 feet per minute. Bring back throttle so we don't overspeed, and to buy us some time. Go back to heading bug here. And now we just have to find the airport. I mean, again, this is so vast. We could like do U-turns in here all day long. A jet could probably do U-turns in here, like when they're at Innsbruck, for example. And is it circle to land runway 13 or something, where it looks like you're between tight mountains and you back to circle, like come down here and you circle to land perfectly fine. Kind of like that. Plenty of space. That's what I'm trying to say. I just can't find the airport. I just know it's right before this curve. Maybe it's right there. Yeah, I was right. It's right there. It just has to render in more. So we will try to keep this heading, even though it's turbulent because we're so close to the mountain. So we can fly straight in. Although I think about a tailwind. No. It's going to be pretty perpendicular wind. Well, it depends. It could change when we get there. Who knows? Who knows? We descended, but we're still really high, so let's descend even more. Let's go down to 2,600 feet. Leg to 600 feet per minute again is fine. Bring back throttles. And this leg is supposed to take how long? 43 minutes. We've been flying for 50. So I must have my speed come low. I just brought it down now, but even before this, my speed must have been kind of low. But I kept bumping the overspeed with the wind. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the airport right there. Yep. Yeah, the wind would bump me into overspeed range, so I had to back off a little bit, which slowed us way down. But that's fine. Let's move heading a little bit to the right. There we go. Alright, we keep our speed up for now, though. In fact, let's come down even more. Let's go down to 2,200 feet. Yeah, let's do 2,200, and then we'll take over manually around there. Bring back throttles to slow down, because we're getting it pretty quick. We need to come down, and we need to slow down. And final looks at the mountains. And look at those little houses. Look how tiny the houses look compared to the big mountains. Something I was trying to explain to my kids when we were in the Rocky Mountains, again, almost a decade ago, is the mountains, when you're in them, among them, you see lots of them, you don't understand how big and vast they are until you start picking out little tiny trees. Then you think about how big these trees are and how tall those trees are. And then look at that. There's a house up there too. Alrighty. So now that's actually good speed. How are we doing for altitude? We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Let's swing out to the left a little bit now. And then it is getting really windy because we're getting really close to the ground. But we need to be because there's your airport right there. I still have autopilot going on just because I can. I don't know why. Oh, first set of flaps is starting to drag in the back. And I'm still using heading bug. Just because I feel like it. Slow down a little bit more. Autopilot is off. Trim is down this time. Okay, that's fine. Do I have anything on my trim wheel? That's fuel. Isn't there a twin wheel in there somewhere? I don't know. I don't have time to pay attention to it right now. We just need to land this airplane in this turbulence. Oh, we do have a tailwind now. Quite a significant tailwind too. But we're going to land this way anyway. We're going to treat it like one way in, but a different way out. Or something. I don't know. We really should turn around. But we're doing this turtle style. So, we're doing this easiest even if it's not the safest. In fact, a tailwind is not the easiest at all. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this leg is taking us more than 10 minutes longer than it said it should, which is okay. Bush trips always take me longer than they say, which is fine. In fact, I don't know where they get their numbers, because they'll be like, full flap by the way, it'll be like 4 hours and 22 minutes when you look at the description page, but the loading page will be like 12 hours. Like, what? How'd that happen? Anyway, we have quite the crosswind from the left, but it's also tailwind, so this would be a nasty landing in real life. Although sometimes you don't have a choice. Rarely, but sometimes that happens. Especially the one way in, one way out stuff. I don't want to go down before the threshold like the other leg. That was terrible. We have so much runway. I'm treating it like we have 100 feet. Here we go. There we go. Now we can land anytime we want. Let's crab it a little bit. Oh boy, crab it more. Oh my. Okay, full rate rudder, and now it's responding. Oh my word. Okay, that was interesting. Come on. Left main first. Right, then nose wheel. Ooh. Come on. Nose wheel down on its own. There we go. That actually wasn't too bad. Okay. Again, the more difficult landing, I seem to do better because I concentrate more. Alrighty, we're just going to stop it right here because we can set the park and brake, turn everything off, and turn that off, and it should count. Yes, it does. Alrighty. Subscribe, turn notifications so you know the next leg drops. Hit the like button so people in the future, well, one, you like it, but also tells the algorithm to people in the future, oh, people still want to watch this video. So do those things, and I'll see you on the next one in a few days.